Welcome back to Across the Glass Sea. This is a live play 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons podcast. I am your Dungeon Master, Nathaniel Miller, and I'm joined, as always, in studio by...
Ben Gilbreth, playing Temerian Trustfall Narcile.
As well as...
Michael Mazul, playing Lichen, Etholomew.
Awesome. We'll do a quick recap for you guys. Last time in Tyroa, our heroes rested after fighting a vicious battle against sewer slogs, and then continued their search for the renegade Admiral Cassian. After diving deeper into the tunnels beneath Hermida, they uncovered a dark and mysterious room which seemingly had been dedicated to evil forces. While there, you uncovered some sort of shadow monster and fought a desperate battle for survival. You encountered rats, you broke into a basement,
Stole some stuff.
You fought the rats, you fought each other. But you also found a way further down into the deeper tunnels beneath the city.
Don't we also literally have a pot of gold?
Indeed, you
Yeah.
do.
That's what... just imagining Burgen carrying this cauldron just...
You guys have 3,000 gold pieces. It's quite heavy. You came upon this beautiful vista. You've reached the sort of second level underneath the sort of sewer level, and the tunnel has opened up, and this wall has fallen out, and there's an entire ruined city underground in this vast cavern with buildings in various states of disrepair piled on top of one another. This place is lost to time and history, and as you look on, you know that you must keep looking for the Admiral. Who knows what stands between our party and the lost Admiral across the Glass Sea?
We can see this because we both have dark vision.
Yes.
Is there light down here at all?
There are some lights. There's no, torchlight. You have noticed several bioluminescent mushrooms here and there. There are other glows. You're not sure if it's metal reflecting a light or something else. But it's not pitch black, I'll say. And you all are standing in this corridor. You have just come down through the chamber that the shadow is in, and you are on this kind of landing. There's a path to your left and to your right, and then behind you is the room that you can climb back up if you want.
Do you have any idea what this place is? I mean, I've never been here. I know this is a shot in the dark. But... But do you have any idea what this is?
That's an interesting laugh you got. I know that the city was built kind of on top of another city. That's what we've been traveling through. So I'm assuming this might be a bit of the old city proper, but I've never been here by any means. Also, what the channel divinity, I'm assuming this was the only direction the shadow could really go.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, could I just do a quick perception to see, is there any trace of it anywhere that ran off?
Check.
Or 8.
You don't see anything at this time. It might have just moved beyond where you're going. You also got the sense that the shadow was incorporeal to the extent that it could have gone through a wall or a floor.
I was going to say, because didn't it just pass through a wall on the way out?
Yeah.
Okay. That was how I imagined it, but since it's not real, sometimes our imaginations are different.
Yes.
So, most likely, I'd imagine she's holed up somewhere in here, right?
I mean, we've got a big haystack to look through.
Is there anything? Most of what I can do magic-wise is little buffs and kind of attack things. Do you have anything that could maybe help us find her, or kind of key in on a location?
Maybe tomorrow I can inquire of Achimon, but as of today, I don't really have much that's going to be help in the long term. What do we think about just shouting for her?
We almost died by slime frogs. There could be a nest of them.
Fair enough.
Here.
I wasn't going to just do it. Well aware of what you're talking about, but at the same time, if we were game for it, we just do it. But fair enough.
Maybe that's plan C. Let's make our way in and just see if we can see if something else outside of monsters is down here. Pick up a trail.
Fair enough. Because at some point, I think if we have to clear every one of these houses or one of these buildings, because there's a lot of them, right?
Yeah, I should say there's kind of this chasm, and half the city is on the other side of it, and there's not a easily identifiable path.
Oh, so we're on.
There are tunnels that you can see down on either side, and it looks like there's more rooms on this side of the chasm.
Gotcha.
So what's behind us then?
Right now, you're just on this sort of like hallway across this cliff ledge, but you can see further down that the path will curve back around, leading behind y'all.
I mean, we've got to start somewhere, I guess. Can I look for? Well, we came down. There's not really much point looking for tracks here because we came down through like a super secret tunnel. I mean, you just want to keep looking.
Yeah,
That's all I've got to do.
Your guess is as good as mine. I want to make it on the other side of this chasm, but I don't see anything.
I think unless we find her over here, we're gonna have to. I agree.
Yeah.
Cool. So y'all head out, and you walk a little ways, and roll some perception checks for me.
9.
17.
With a 17, you'll notice.
You have advantage.
I do have advantage.
We realized it at almost the exact same moment.
Dirty 20.
There we go.
I did realize it. I was just like.
Now, since we've been debating who gets the goggle, let's see what I would have gotten. Not as good. Still a 17,
awesome.
even without my pretend goggles.
I should roll for Burgen too. He's there.
Come on, Cookie.
It's like 15 for him. You all notice that it's much cleaner on this level. The slime is not as thick. It might, and in most places, it's not present at all. Actually, the air smells cleaner here. You can sense perhaps the chasm below you. There's drafts and air circulating into a broader underground space somewhere beyond in the darkness below. So you can sense, okay, this is maybe not as sewer-y as the level above. Lichen, with a 20, you hear a strange mechanical sound, like some clicking, almost like a gears turning, or some metal somehow brushing or tapping against metal. And as you listen, you can tell that the sound is happening at regular intervals, so it's unlikely that it's a person tapping on something with a hammer or something.
You hear that? There's some type of machine clicking down the way. It sounds rhythmic, so my guess is just some machine.
Sounds like something to go check out. I mean, we got to start somewhere.
Yeah, let's make our way towards it.
Yeah.
Here, I'll lead the way.
Perfect. You guys start walking down the path, and after just a few minutes, you encounter a fork or a branch. There's a path leading off to the left-hand side, and you can tell that it's coming from down that way.
Oh, the sound is coming.
The sound
from
is
that
coming
way.
from this other trail.
I think Tam is kind of got bow out, kind of doing the whole Overwatch back position thing. So just keep going.
Yeah. I'm making a beeline for it because it's the first thing we've heard that's making sound and could be something outside of monsters or people hunting us.
I think as you go, Tam kind of reaches out. No, okay. Like just as you're back, like not, you probably wouldn't see it, but Tam does that awkward. Tam's trying to talk about something, but he's not ready yet. If you could see me doing the reaching out to pat on the shoulder and then doesn't.
Burgen's following up the rear, carrying his pot of gold. Do you think they were going to find us soon?
I don't think so. We can keep up hope. Also, Lichen,
Yeah, what's up, Tam?
do we think we need to carry this gold everywhere? Can we put it somewhere and come back and get it?
Oh, that's a good idea.
That is a good idea.
Because
nobody had been in that decrepit room that we found that shadow thing in
I can run it back
our
there
guess
and
is years.
leave it there and catch back up with you guys. I'll be a lot quicker without this heavy weight.
Yeah, go put it at the bottom of the rope where we came down.
Put some rocks and stuff because, if someone finds them, they steal the gold. They're stealing that cauldron too.
Oh, yeah, I don't want that. Bergen's eyes get really big.
I suppose you could dump it out and we could put it back in the cauldron later.
Bergen narrows
If you want to bring
his
your
eye.
cauldron with you.
I'm fine. I can leave the cauldron for a little bit.
Are you sure?
Yeah, it's not going anywhere. So he goes and he finds a nice place to stash the cauldron in the room that y'all climb down in, and hurries back. And
We have sown the seeds for him to become the big bad. The cauldron will be gone. Everything. Yep.
That's the final artifact. That's the big MacGuffin that will usher in the end of the world.
The world cauldron.
We go the opposite direction. We buy him a full set of Hexclad.
Yes. He would, that, get him a Blackstone, sponsor us, Blackstone.
Yes, we're not dads at all.
So he catches back up to you guys. He moves a little more nimbly. He still has his big butcher's knife, and he has some cutting boards that you guys haven't noticed. He's kind of kept in his pack, but he has those more out in case he needs to prepare something.
That is
rather
honestly
quickly.
one of my favorite things of D&D is the amount of stuff that usually you just make up that you're carrying at any given moment. Because if you think about it, the amount of stuff that we would be carrying that we have already interacted with, we'd look like those ladies in the labyrinth, just sticking stuff onto this pile, and you'd just be walking around. But it's like, I've just got cutting boards. Cutting boards are big. They're not going to... How does he have a cauldron?
It's not like
he's
a big
a cook, man.
cauldron.
Yeah.
And a magical cook at that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It was just... That, like I said, that is one of my favorite things is just... Oh, this was on me the whole time.
Yeah. So you guys continue your way down the path and give me another perception check as you go.
9.
12.
You guys, as you're walking down the path, you kind of are really careful, watching for any disturbance, looking up the path, down the path. So you don't see until you almost stumble over it a body lying on the ground. And you notice it is a human man who looks like they have perished within the last 24 hours.
I'm going to say, Tam, as soon as we figure out that it's not dangerous, Tam has gone into medic mode.
Yeah.
And check the pulse. While I'm doing that, can I look at it and see what kind of body it may have been? What,
so
is
this,
it wearing
this,
any...
this person is wearing the uniform and armor of an Admiralty soldier. Make an investigation check for any more information.
Shout out to the 2 crew. And investigation is +1, so 3.
Okay, what exactly are you looking for?
I think really at this point Tam is just looking for insignia. So the fact that it's Admiralty at all is one thing. And then I was going to ask this before I rolled. I'm not just metagaming or stupid. Lichen, you've been on the sea. If Admiral Cassian had help, she'd probably have help. Does this uniform look like anything you've run into out in the ocean?
Does it?
So I'll say with a 3...
With a 3?
With a 3, you are not quite sure. You don't know... you're not familiar with all the ins and outs of Admiralty stuff. I will tell you what you do see. This looks like a common soldier. He's wearing leather armor with a few woven metal pieces into the leather. So I guess you could say studded leather. He has a short sword at his side. The only sort of identifying mark that you see woven into the right breast of his chest piece of his armor, there is an insignia of what looks to be a sun setting over a dark gray sea.
Have you seen this before? Have you run into anybody wearing something like this?
Have I run into anyone with that before?
Yeah, I mean, you've kind of been all over. Make a history check to see if you can recognize this. While you're doing that, as you're doing the sort of medical examination, the really easy thing to see is that this guy there are significant burns on him. So part of his armor is crisped up a little bit. You're not sure if that's what killed him. There is also like a dried pool of blood on the ground. But yeah, this guy's very dead. You can tell.
That's a medical term. Very dead.
Rolled a 0.
Oh, no. You're not quite sure. You have made most of your living trying to avoid the Admiralty, and so you don't know.
Is that our first 0? Because
Maybe.
you rolled a dirty 1.
Mm-hmm.
That may be the first 0.
Yeah. That one got a -1 on history, so.
Yeah.
This kind of gives some reminiscent to that symbol we did see when we went plundering a little bit a while ago. Do all admirals have like a insignia of the people under their command or something?
I know, when I've served in different regiments, they've had different regimental flags and stuff, so it would make sense. pure admission, I am not the expert on the Admiralty. I thought they were quite monolithic. I'm learning different every time we encounter them. But as a soldier, I wouldn't be surprised if, we're going to run into 15 different insignias.
Yeah.
And so, if you don't know it, I certainly don't know it. But now we've got something else we can keep a lookout for.
It seems like we're at least on the right path.
It's of something.
So can you tell us anything about this body? It looks kind of fresh. Can you tell? Was it stabbed?
It's got burns on it. Yeah, where'd the blood come from?
If you examine more closely, you can see that there are several, stab wounds.
He's been stabbed
in his chest and torso.
And they look like weapon wounds, not claws or bites or anything.
They're kind of weird.
Keep in mind, I rolled a 3.
You would be able to tell as a medic, but you think that the burn marks have kind of cauterized almost some of them and just made it more difficult to sort out what type of implement or weapon caused these things.
Something poked him till he died, and then he got burned. That's all I got.
He got burned after he died?
Or burned in the midst of dying. All very similar. I don't know if we...
Horrible way to go. What's the worst... In your mind, what's the worst way you could die? What scares you?
Usually Tam just kind of, his eyes get really wide and he puts his hands on his hips and he starts almost Bubba from Forrest Gump listing off horrible ways to die in battle. Well, you've got stabbing, you've got beheaded, you've got eviscerated, you've got... And it's just... I think the worst one, usually getting stabbed in the guts.
I don't like the idea of drowning myself.
That wouldn't be... That's very true. That's very true. That doesn't happen on the battlefield very much, so I'm not as familiar with that one. But as far as the one that you just hate to see, and it's so hard outside of magic to get better from, is a gut wound. I mean, it's... The Burgen, drowning would be bad.
Or starving to death.
Well, I don't know. I think...
thought of that one that
anything,
much,
I think, where you just kind of go to sleep and don't wake up would be preferable to something horrible. So I would put... Maybe starving before actually dying is quite bad, but this is a very morbid conversation, isn't it?
I'm just curious.
Oh yes, well, and some of it's my fault because I've seen a lot of wounds.
Well, yeah, as a medic, I'm assuming you've seen a lot of hurt people. I'm assuming you've helped a lot of people.
That's true. I've tried. I've done my best.
So, but it seems like we're on the right path with this. So
we're on a path
at
this point.
Let's keep following the potential breadcrumbs of dead bodies.
Works for me.
Yeah, as you sort of move past, you do see...
Breadcrumbs?
Well, after a fashion, blood droplets that look... It looks like this guy did not die, was not attacked here. He did not get these wounds here. It looks like he maybe either further down, somewhere else, he was where he sustained these injuries and he staggered up this passageways before collapsing and expiring.
Was there any, Tam, passcode y'all were given to give to...
Tam shakes his head.
Is there anything we can say or do to let them know, hey, we're actually here for your side? Because she probably knows that there's a bounty on her head in the town.
No, I mean, she might take kindly to the fact that I'm an elf. I've got this message on an amulet that was given to me from the ambassador, but as far as a watchword or anything, I don't.
Okay.
I mean, we were supposed to meet, and then it went sideways. And as Tam is doing this, he's kind of folding the arms, putting the soldier into a more restful position.
Sure.
I'm not going to do any crazy rites or anything, but just doing some brief, if I can, arms down, arms over the chest, and just kind of laying them out off to the side.
Yeah.
I mean, the best I can do is tell her we're from the Kingdom of the Wood. I'd be surprised if there are other elves around making that kind of statement that are hunting her.
Make a religion check for me.
That's a 9, but because religion is intelligence, it's a 10.
Nice. A 10's enough. This is fairly common knowledge. You know that the burial practices of Admiralty people usually is to be buried at sea. Just that's free information for you. You don't have to do anything with that.
That makes sense.
Burgen pipes up and goes, shall we search him for any useful intelligence or coin or...
Well, I couldn't find anything earlier, but somebody else can give him a pat down.
Burgen looks to you, is like...
All's worth checking the pockets real quick.
With my metagaming 3.
Yeah, I'll take a look. All these dice are rolling pretty bad. Investigation or
Yeah, give me an investigation.
12.
Yeah, you're able to find a pouch with like 5 silver, but maybe more interestingly, you find a piece of parchment with a series of strange marks on it. What languages do the two of you speak?
Common and Elvish.
Common and Elvish?
Common, Infernal, and Primordial.
Okay, cool. You guys don't recognize any of these marks, but they are distinctive, and you think that if you saw them on another surface, you would recognize these marks. Is there anything else you guys want to do with the body, or strike out and move on?
Yeah, we'll keep moving, I guess.
I think, Lichen, before we go further, I want to apologize. My feelings were hurt earlier, and I reacted angrily. And I've been thinking for a bit. I'm going to say something, and it's not intended to start a fight, and you don't have to say anything back. So I've got something to say and something to ask, and then we can talk about it, or we can talk about it later. The first thing is that I am sorry you've had a hard life full of untrustworthy people. I can't speak to that. You mentioned that I don't know you, and you're right. But what I will say, this is a statement, is that you can trust me. Trust that I'm going to do what's best, what I think is best for us right now. And this is not meant to be a threat or any kind of a veiled anything, but until you start working against me, obviously, I consider you a friend. We're working together. And so anything that I do is going to be for the best of both of us, if I can help it. And so I'm just going to say, you can trust me. I'm just going to leave that as it is. I'm going to do my best. It may not always work, but it will come from a place of, it won't be on purpose that I do something wrong to hurt us. I may not think of it, but that's about it. And the request is, we've been talking about some things, and I can tell there's things you don't want to talk about, that's fine. But I'm just going to ask, just don't lie to me. If you don't want to talk about something or you don't know, and you're being truthful, that's fine. But I can tell you're hiding some things, and everybody's got secrets. I'm not bothered by that, but I'm just asking, just be open with me as best you can. Or if you're open and say you don't want to talk about it, that's fine. So again, we don't have to talk about it now. I just wanted to say that and let you know, so you're not wondering, am I going to catch an arrow in the back? You're not gonna. Not from me. Not unless you've done something to really deserve it. Tam does. He does laugh nervously.
Yeah.
And he extends his hand. He says, "Friends."
I take his hand. I appreciate you coming to say that to me. You don't have to apologize for my life. My life is what it was because of how I was born, unfortunately. Family didn't want me. People don't trust me. So it's just kind of made for a harder life. I'm used to that. Don't ever apologize for that. It's not your fault. It's not even really my fault, but it's what I know and what I'm good at. I'm good at covering myself. That isn't to say I don't try to help other people here and there. I can't be somewhat of a team player, but just full honesty to you asked me not to lie to you. Sometimes it's going to be hard for me to get out of the mindset of I need to take care of myself first and foremost, and then the people around me. I'm going to make sure y'all make it out of here with me. It's just, you clearly, correct me if I'm wrong, you clearly are very much on the straight and narrow. You shoot straight. You seem to be fairly honest. You tried to lie to me about that gold earlier, but besides that,
I did.
You've seen upright. You've seen straightforward. And although I'm not always that way, I can kind of respect it a little bit. I think sometimes it might help to lie from time to time.
I'm not opposed to lying for benefit, as you saw me try to very badly do. But the difference, maybe the part of my request is there's a large difference in my mind, between an obvious lie to cover up something versus just saying you don't want to talk about it. And I'm not saying you in particular, just anybody.
Yeah.
And because I am straightforward and I take people at what they mean and what they say, if you say you don't want to talk about it, that's good enough. I might bring it up again later, but at the moment you don't want to talk about it, you don't want to talk about it. That's fine. But if even I can tell something's a lie or that's being covered up, that bothers me more than just not now. Maybe later. That's fine. I don't mind that.
Yeah.
Because I do tend to trust more easily than it seems that you do. I give people the benefit of the doubt. And some of that is because I'm somewhat self-sufficient as well. And if they fail me, I'll just take care of it myself later. And so I think we're opposite sides of the same coin in that regard. But like I said, just be open. Well, be honest. Honest doesn't mean open. If you want to keep stuff to yourself, that's fine. I would rather, and this is my preference, I'd rather you say that. I don't want to talk about it than make up something that might be a lie. A non-answer is better than a lie.
Fair enough. I would ask, I don't know how long we're going to be together.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, I'd ask if we're together for quite a bit longer, just give me some time. You're like I said, you're used to being in what I'm assuming is a regiment with people who fly under the same banner, who kind of to some degree have the same goals, have the same mission, so to speak. I don't know that.
Right.
So everything we're doing together, it really is because I'm choosing to kind of do it with you.
And that's fair enough. And honestly, the whole under the same banner thing, it actually made it easier to not, well, I don't want to say not care, but people's backstory wasn't important as long as they did their job. And if everybody did their job long enough, you stayed alive long enough to get to know each other better. And then you found out about kids and wives and grandparents and weird scars and stuff. But that comes after you do your job. And being able to trust that the other person's going to do their job is the most important part. And so, which goes back to what I wanted to say at the first part, is that you can trust me to do my job, which is help. Right now, my job, our job, is to find this lady.
Yeah.
And we're following breadcrumbs, following mechanical noises and dead bodies, apparently.
So, do you got a question for me then?
Not at the moment. Just wanted to apologize and just let you know I'm very open about things. Maybe not to the depth that some people would like, but I'm generally going to give a straightforward answer. So, just wanted to take that. As we go, I mean, there's a dead body. We might have to fight some more, and so just wanted to just kind of clear the air so we're not walking around on eggshells around each other.
Yeah.
While you guys have been talking, you see that Burgen has, from somewhere, pulled out a loaf of bread and a head of lettuce and some tomatoes and some jerky and some sort of dried meats, and he's cutting them all up finely, and he's making some sandwiches for the three of y'all.
Apology sandwiches.
Yeah, here you go. It's a jerky, lettuce, and tomato sandwich.
I've heard of these. They're called JLTs.
Yes. They're very famous back in the kingdom that I'm from. I believe it's one of the very few original goblin cuisines beyond just sort of eating meat that has been roasted over a fire.
Tam is trying very hard not to make a very offensive joke about something alive.
You sense that Burgen appreciates your hesitance.
My mouth is vastly full.
So I don't have to say anything that will hurt anyone's feelings.
Yes. So you guys feel reinvigorated and encouraged by this meal. You each get a die of bardic inspiration.
Awesome!
D6 right now? Right?
It's a
D6,
D6
yeah?
still, yeah.
Alright, I'm going to put it over here so I don't forget about it.
As well, as you ingest this, you feel like something's different this time. As if the support and the help that the sandwich is giving you is somehow more potent. There's some kind of more special thing that might happen if you sort of choose to dip into this well of power that this magical act of creation has afforded you guys. Mechanically speaking, he has a subclass now. and he's what's called a Bard of the College of Creation.
Oh, cool.
And essentially what that means is, depending on what you use your Bardic Inspiration for, an ability check, attack roll, or saving throw, you will get a bonus effect that goes with that.
What?
So
That's
you
cool.
see almost hovering at the edge of your mind like a transparent, luminous outline of a sandwich. So that's how, whenever you use it, it will disappear.
Tam keeps swatting like he sees something that's not there.
I'm just thinking of like a video game, like HUD.
Yes, it's very similar to what I've have in mind.
Listen.
But it's a sandwich instead of a
Instead of a fairy or
instead
a HUD.
of a
Cool.
As you look down the hallway, you see more blood trails leading out into the darkness.
Off we go. Maybe quietly, or is that sound still echoing? I mean,
It's a little louder.
A little louder. I mean, are we gonna just go to the sound? I guess.
I think so.
Okay.
Right?
Do we think it could be a trap? I do have a spell that can help us find traps.
If it is, I mean, my assumption is we'll stop right before, like, a ways before we get to it. Take a look.
Let me see, because Tam would know this. What's the? I can sense any trap within line of sight, and the range is 120 feet when I cast it.
Cool.
So just if we get to a place that you get a hinky feeling about, just let me know and I can maybe do that.
For sure. I think it's still a little ways. Let's make our way and see what this is exactly.
Cool.
I'm not too well versed in mechanical objects.
You guys continue on, and as you go, you notice that the noises start to get louder. You see actually a few spots of light here and there from what look to be some sort of lanterns on the walls that glow with a faint glow. They're not actual torches. It's some kind of magical enchantment that still is somehow generating some kind of luminosity after many years.
Can I examine one of them?
Yeah, sure. Make a investigation check, or I could hear an argument for another type of check.
Either investigation or maybe arcana, both
Yeah.
of which are +1.
Whichever you would like to do.
Let's do investigation, because I think Tam is very hung up on the squiggly lines of power that we saw in the map place.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that's what I'm going to call it.
Yes.
I'd like to make a deception check on it.
Okay. A deception check on the. You want to lie to the lantern?
Is it lying?
My name is John.
His name is James. It's not John.
Yeah. What'd you get?
13.
13. Okay, with the 13, you see it is clearly something akin to the cantrip light. It is not burning, it does not expend fuel, but it's also not. It really only sheds light in like a 5.
But it doesn't
radius.
there's nothing to indicate that it's the same maybe technology or civilization that we've already encountered with the squiggly stuff.
You're not sure.
Okay. That's what I'm looking for. Just
Yeah.
like, is this the same group of people?
You're not.
Not sure?
You're not
Okay.
sure.
This is magic, but I don't know. That's...
Burgen says, "Do you think that we should ask Wayfinder if this is something to do with their people?"
I forgot about that.
I touched with the amulet.
Greetings, Captain. What can I do for you?
Greetings, Wayfinder.
Hail and well met.
Well met to yourself.
Would you
as
like
well.
me to run diagnostics on your life support systems?
No, not right now. Maybe later. We're okay for the time being. But we've come across this area, and Burgen actually brought up that maybe you might know something about these. Is this reminiscent to you at all from your time?
Perhaps. It seems to be constructed by artisans influenced by sun dwarf design sensibilities. Hermida is not an official city of the Imperium, yet there were outposts here.
So are we in an outpost of the old sun dwarfs?
That's what I've been operating on, was that this is a city under a city. I've been assuming it's dwarves. If we find any more squiggly lines, we know what we're dealing with. But,
Yeah.
We've got magical lights in the Kingdom of the Wood, too.
Is there anything specific to the outpost that was here in Hermida that
Accessing data logs.
they were researching, they were doing,
It seems that it was a trading settlement that traded with the local human city of Val Ashar.
Okay.
It seems that name is no longer in use.
Do either of us recognize that at all? Yeah, I didn't
I mean,
think
you
so.
could roll a history check.
-1. I'm okay.
Basically, what Wayfinder seems to be saying is that you
Big
have
old
three.
3. With no 5. My intelligence is not -1; it's +1.
0.
Was it really?
Yep, not 1 again.
Awesome.
These dice.
Well, good thing you don't have to roll for what Wayfinder's just going to tell you guys.
Woohoo!
Wayfinder explains essentially that this used to be a human city that was under essentially like a tributary state to the Sun Dwarves, and there was a enclave here that they had to. That was mostly oriented around trade and manufacturing that would trade with the local human population. It seemed that this place was really affected first by whatever it was that caused the Sun Dwarves to disappear, and then secondly by the tyrants passing. Really impacted this place. Like you know from talking to people, Hermida as a city is completely new, like on the surface, since the tyrant a couple hundred years ago.
Okay.
Interesting.
Well, we'll keep heading towards the sound then.
After another few minutes of walking, you come into this bigger room, and there's a couple paths going off, one to the left, one straight ahead. But on the right-hand side, you see a door. And all around this room, there is debris, scrap, trash. You see several different piles of metal, and you see a lot more blood. You see the door. In the centerpiece of the door, there is a diamond shape of black marble inlaid with the sort of
squiggles.
golden inlay stuff that
Ooh.
you've seen. And there are 4 tiles set into the black diamond within the door. But as you start to get closer, you hear the clicking sound. The mechanical noise is much louder, and it seems that it's emanating from one of the piles of rubble in this room.
It's like on the other side of the door.
No, it seems to be coming from a pile of what looks like gnarled, tangled metal and gears and bits and bobs of scrap lying against the wall that the door is on.
But you also said there's a lot more blood.
Yes, oh yeah.
Is there any more body parts, anything like that?
Make a perception check.
Is there blood on the door also? Something I would... That's a dirty 20.
With a 20, you'll see a lot of things. There is blood on the door. You see scorch marks liberally applied throughout this area. And with a 20, you also notice that the pile of metal is moving ever so slightly.
I think at this point, I've kind of come up behind Lichen and said, just, okay, as much as we might want to touch the door, we probably shouldn't. There's blood everywhere and there's burns everywhere, and that guy was very badly burned, so maybe we figure out what's in this pile first.
No, I completely agree with
Okay,
you.
I will take a step back and fully knock an arrow.
Cool.
Do you want to poke it with your sword?
Yeah, Lichen makes his way, and he'll try to move some of the rubble with his glaive, see what's happening.
When you get within 10 feet of this rubble, you see a form stand up. And as that happens, Wayfinder goes off in your head and says, "Warning, hostile defense platform detected. Coding sequence corrupt. Undetected. Unsure. Error. And this thing turns around and faces you. It looks like there are 5 legs and 2 sort of spike-looking appendages shifting out from it. It has a long sort of neck with what look to be some kind of metallic eyes, and what looks like a pipe running through the thing that looks to be some sort of barrel in its lower body that the legs are coming off of, ending in a spout that kind of almost looks like a mouth. Its eyes gleam red as it looks at you guys, and we're going to roll initiative.
Okay.
16.
21.
All right, that's great for you guys. 21 for Tam.
So encouraging.
So happy for
16
Such an
for
uplifting
Lichen.
DM.
Burgen
That's great for you
gets
guys.
I think it's a 15. That's good for all you guys. The Abomination gets... that's going to be a 19 for the robot Abomination that you see before you. But Tam, you're going to lead off, and then it's the monster's turn, and then it'll be Lycan's turn.
I guess since it kind of woke up before we even got there, I guess Tam's probably 10, 15 feet away.
Yes.
I will...
You're probably closer to 20 feet away.
Gotcha. Okay, I'll back up 10 more feet or so, so
Okay.
that I can get to Lichen if need be,
Sure.
and just loose an arrow at it.
Perfect. All right, roll an attack.
All right, come on. That is a 11.
Unfortunately, that will not hit. It
I'm going to
clatters
use
off.
my mystical sandwich.
Wonderful.
15 now with the mystical
15
sandwich.
is exactly a
Yes!
And you... okay, so roll damage.
Okay. It's a D8 plus 2. Ooh, an 8 on the D8, so 10 piercing damage.
Cool. You fire this arrow, and you can tell it's going to miss, but then the sandwich the ethereal sandwich rushes and carries the arrow into a key point in this machine's armor, and it explodes with a deafening roar as well. So it has to make a saving throw or take bonus damage.
Ooh.
How much was the die that you rolled? So
I rolled a 4 on my
it needs to make a
sandwich
save
dice.
or take 4 extra damage.
Sweet!
So it takes 8 regular damage,
It takes 10.
10 regular damage.
10 regular damage.
Okay. And then it makes a saving throw. What's your spell save DC?
My spell save is 13.
I think it probably would go against Burgen.
I would
but
think so.
I think he also has a 13. So that's a 19. So he passes.
Standard array.
Sadly. And with that, it is this guy's turn. You see this clockwork abomination just sort of skitters towards you, Lichen, because you're
I'm
closest. And he is going to take his swings with these 2 appendages at you. So the first one is going to be a... Ooh, that is only going to be a 8 to hit.
Does not
Does
hit.
not hit. The second one is going to be... Oh, like a 19.
Yeah, that hits.
Okay. Sorry, I was just having a math brain fart here.
Numbers are hard sometimes.
Okay, so that's 2d6 damage. That's just going to be 6 bludgeoning damage. Or no, piercing damage, as one of these things gets you a little bit.
I'm not raging yet, so Rebuke of the Deep.
Okay, perfect.
So saving throw on him.
That's a nat 1.
Yes!
Okay, so he takes the full 2d10.
There's
of
the Nathaniel
cold
we
damage.
know and love. I was imagining a very cutesy, like, mobile version of Wavefinder about to pop out of this, and so the fact that it's called an abomination has vastly skewed my imagination.
I mean, this thing looks somehow misshapen and wrong. It looks very strange.
That's 11 cold damage.
11 cold damage. Awesome. Yeah, y'all have put some dents into it already. He still has something he can do, so he is going to... Oh, wait, no, those are his actions. Now it's your turn, Lichen.
How hard is he looking?
He's not yet... Like, there's some dents. There's some wounds appearing, but it doesn't look like he's, like, falling apart or anything.
Okay. I'll go bonus action, go into my last battle focus for the day, and then I'll take a swing.
Have you gotten it in the tray one time yet?
I have, but it's bounced out 3 times.
Every time I've looked up.
Do we count what's in the tray or not? Have we decided this
What
as
do
a
you
whole
mean?
yet? Like, I didn't get it in it hit and landed outside. Do we count it?
Yeah, count it.
All right, not one. So big whiff.
So, yeah, you swing your glaive, and it just dips out of the way. He had... when he stabbed you, it stabbed you in a place, like in your shoulder, one of those places where like you're used to it feeling a certain way, and it doesn't feel that way, so you whiff with your attack. It's Burgen's turn, so he is going to run up, and he's going to swing his cleaver at the abomination, and that's going to just miss. He like hits it, but it is able to deflect with one of its appendages, and then he's going to toss a piece of jerky to Tam and give you another die of bardic
Awesome.
inspiration. Top of the order. It is Tam's turn.
I'm going to toll the dead.
So it makes a saving throw, right?
No, it's attack roll. So it is. Does a 12 hit?
Are you sure Toll the Dead's an attack roll?
I think it is. Yep, you're right. Wisdom save.
Okay. Well, it's not a terrible... Yep, he fails.
Yay! So he takes a D12 because he's got boo-boos.
He's hot.
It's my big metal dice. And I rolled an 11!
Nice. Man. Y'all are
I'm rolling good on damage
hurting
today.
this thing. All right, it is his turn. So he, or it, is going to kind of maneuver around... How far are you away from Lichen?
Probably
You said
30,
25
like
feet?
30 feet-ish.
30 feet, okay. Well, he'll get Burgen and Lichen, and the spout opens, and a jet of fire erupts. And so I need you and Burgen both to make DC 14 dexterity saving throw.
You've got Bardic.
Burgen is going to pass.
I don't know which dice to use.
Also, welcome to being a frontline fighter. You get hit every time.
What was the DC?
DC 14.
That's not worth it.
No.
Yeah, I don't pass.
Oh, that moment of hesitation is the
Well, I was like,
worst.
do I
Well,
use
what'd
the
you get?
Bardic? It would be a 9.
Okay.
So you'd have to roll a 5 or a 6 to beat it on the Bardic.
I think I'd have to roll like a 6, right?
No,
Did you
5.
say 15?
14. DC 14.
Yeah.
So, okay. Well, you'll take full damage, and Burgen
Oh,
will
that's a
take
lot of dice. Oh, it's only 4.
Oh, gosh. Okay, that's going to be 18 fire damage for you and 9 fire damage for Burgen.
Ooh,
I'm resistant to fire.
nice.
Yeah, you are. So 9. Perfect.
Woo.
That's going to be his turn, and then it'll be your turn, Lichen.
Yeah, I'm swinging.
All right, go for it.
Let's see, which one of you should I use this time? Okay, yeah, 19 on the die.
It stayed in the tray. There we go.
That should hit.
There you go. Yes, that absolutely hits.
8 damage.
Okay, what kind of damage is it?
I think just slashing.
Slashing. Okay, if this was a creature of flesh and blood, you notice that this would be a pretty serious wound, but it seems to be taking less damage from your slashing attack. So it only takes half damage.
That just gets me more riled up. I was about to say, this is...
It's Burgen's turn, so he is going to cast Vicious Mockery on this thing, and it rolls a nat 1 on its saving throw.
Yeah.
So that will be, I think it's just a D4 of damage, but he has disadvantage on his next attack, I believe.
Can't remember if it's in it. Yeah, I know it's disadvantage on something.
They have disadvantage on the next attack roll it makes before the end of its next turn.
Nice.
So, yes, so it will take a D4 of damage. It takes 3 damage, as Burgen says, "You don't look particularly well designed."
Savage.
And it shakes its head, and it's kind of disoriented for a moment. And Tam, you're up.
Tam is brow furrowed, looking at Burgen like he said a wordy dirt. And I'm gonna shoot it again. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna shoot it again. Use my bow. That's gonna miss because I rolled an 8. But I'm going to bonus action healing word Lichen, and so that is a D4 plus my wisdom. Yeah, you get 7 hit points back. I rolled a 4,
Thank you.
and I say, "You all right?"
I don't think Lycan responds right now.
Just in the zone.
Just, he nods at you.
That's the word. Yep,
He looks
cool.
at you and just
Okay,
nods.
cool.
He's
And
going to
then-
take the first attack against Lichen, but he has disadvantage because of Burgen. 2 13s, so that will still be 18 to hit.
Just
Dang it.
Dang. Okay, so that's 2d6. 8 piercing damage again.
Okay, and then half because I'm raging.
Half because you're raging. And so that's his first attack, so he's out of disadvantage. He'll take the other one at Burgen. That's nat 1.
Yay!
And we'll see if he gets his breath weapon back. We'll see if he gets his breath weapon back next turn.
He does.
Okay. You see the sort of barrel protruding from it, what looks like its head starts to glow with heat again. But that is his turn for now. And with that, it is Lycan's turn.
Yeah, out of anger, I'm just gonna keep attacking. And I think I'll just yell, "You won't get past this line." Nat 20.
There it
Oh,
is.
nice!
Woo-hoo-hoo!
That's the perfect number for a nat 20.
Yeah.
All right,
Let's see how much damage we do.
16 damage.
Yes.
Awesome. So again, it's only going to take half, but that's still a big hit on him that he does not like. Burgen's turn now. Or is there anything else you want to do?
No,
Okay.
I still only have one attack.
Burgen's going to swing, and he misses. Top of the order, it's Tam's turn.
I'm gonna toll the dead. We're just kind of alternating back and forth. So that's wisdom save on his part,
Yes.
as we've learned.
That is going to be 12.
Yes, he fails.
Nice.
D12. Where'd it go? Big metal dice. A 6.
Okay, cool. Yes, you see this halo of radiant energy just sort of explode around the head of this thing, and you start to see like cracks forming in the metal plating that forms this thing's head. He's starting to look a lot more hurt.
Come on, you lot. We can do this.
And it's his turn. So he is going to take attacks of opportunity from you guys. So attack Bop.
Yeah.
He's going to move closer to Tam. Burgen misses his attack.
Look at that one.
Oh, you had a lot of those today. Is that 4?
I think 3.
Good gracious.
That's the first on an attack, though.
Oh, okay, I was thinking there was one more there.
He's going to get up in Tam's face because he really didn't like the spells that you've been slinging at him. He's going to breathe his breath weapon.
Oh,
so make a
man.
Dex save throw.
Dex save. and I
DC
don't-
14. And remember,
Okay.
you have Bardic Inspiration.
Oh, yeah. That's a 6. My Dex save is... Oh, here comes the fun math. Oh, man, this is only an 8. It's a 14.
Yeah, 14.
I'm just gonna... No, what the heck? I'm just gonna use it. Come on, 6. 1. So I'd fail.
Okay.
Dang it.
Well, you still get the sandwich comes and interposes itself between you and the flames, and you get 1 temporary hit point before you take
Hooray!
this other damage.
All right.
Because you rolled a 1. This
Yes.
is a cool sub-boss.
Yes.
Creation bards are awesome.
10 total.
So 9. All right, then.
Yes.
Hot, 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 hot.
You see, you feel these flames, and you're like, ah, yes, this is what happened to the other guy.
Does this happen to you all the time? Yelling to Lichen.
And that'll be its turn. It's Lycan's turn.
I sprint to it. Take an attack. Yeah, this is the dice that's got a 20.
Yeah, hey.
It also just got a 1, though, so.
See, I use the same dice until I've been punished by it a lot, and then it's just gone.
Yeah, that's only a 9.
That'll miss. But you do have Bardic Inspiration.
I do still.
I think y'all have figured out its AC is 15.
Yeah.
So I mean, you can use it if
I
you
would
want.
need those 6.
Hey, I got a 1.
No, I'll keep saving it. I want to be closer. I'm not rolling well.
Bergen's gonna run up to it and try to hit it with his cleaver again. That is gonna hit.
Yes.
So that'll be a D6 plus 2, so that's 7 halved to 4. We round up, right?
Let's round down.
We round up. He gets 3 damage, but he lops off a piece of one of the bits of metal sticking out, and the thing doesn't seem to like that. So top of the order, Tam, your turn.
Tam, Toll the Dead, since he's up in my business. Wisdom save, and I'm shaking a dice for no reason.
Yes, it's a nat 20.
Darn it!
So this thing just bats away the radiant energy that is forming. And
Tam goes to yell something, and his voice cracks.
so he's going to take 1 swing at Tam and 1 at Lichen. So first off, that'll be 17 to hit.
That hits.
That will be 11 piercing damage.
Ooh! Ooh!
And then against Lichen, that will miss. It's a 6 on the die, so I don't think he'll be able to hit your AC. And see if he gets his breath weapon back. He does not. Perfect. Lichen, your turn.
We're not going to find out later if he does? All right, we're going to keep slinging. Come on.
Come on.
Nervous. I'm nervous.
Well, it's a small tray.
Nat 20.
Yes!
That's number 2. Let's go.
All right. 16 again, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Same roll.
Man, he
Nice.
is hurting. He's starting to hurt.
Oh, but he doesn't get damaged as much with me.
He's still, half damage. Does not do as much as it normally would, but he's starting to look real frail. It's Bergen's turn.
Can I try to, I haven't used my movement or bonus action, can I just try to like provoke it to attack me instead?
How would you do that mechanically?
I think just critting on it twice.
Yeah, that's a good
and
point.
then just continuing to be like, come this way. I'm the line. Break me.
We'll see what happens. Burgen misses his attack. Tam, you're up.
Tam, have we decided what we're going to do as far as me switching weapons in the middle of everything?
I feel like we had decided it would be.
Isn't it usually just like a bonus action?
Yeah, I think it's a bonus. I think rules is written. There's some more nuance, but we'll just say bonus
Shenanigans.
action.
Bonus action?
So I want to keep things fun.
That
and
changes
I want to be a
things.
cool DM.
Cool, fun DM. I'm just going to do Toll the Dead again, because I'm too close.
What's your
13.
That's a 10.
Yes!
So he fails.
D12, come on. 12!
Okay. How
Hit me some
there we
more!
go. How do you finish?
Oh,
off
man.
This.
I think Tam goes to yell a war cry, and you hear this sound of a horn kind of emanating from somewhere, and it kind of blends with his voice, and the drum starts to just rattle, like resonant frequency, and just boom, just blows.
Yeah.
Not in a way to hurt us.
Well, actually, that is not quite exactly what happens.
Yes, that's my pretend how it happens.
Yeah, so you see that parts of this start to shudder and collapse, and you hear a mechanical noise.
Oh, like last time.
And I need all of y'all to make a dexterity saving throw as this thing self-destructs.
Okay.
Burgen gets a nat 20.
Oh, Tam does not.
I got a 16.
Tam got a 7.
The remainder of his fuel explodes in a fireball, and that is 17 fire damage.
Tam says nighty-night.
So Burgen will take 8 of that. Did you?
Yeah, I rolled a 16 to pass.
Okay, so yeah, you pass as well.
So that'd be half of 17.
Halved again.
Halved again because I'm resistant.
Yep.
Right.
So 4. Bergen sees Tam falling over and says, "Oh dear," and he'll come and cast Healing Word on you to pop you up.
It's real urgency there.
Goodness.
Oh no! Seems to have taken the brunt of that, and he'll come heal you up.
All right.
So
For how much?
that's a good point. I should roll that.
Yeah, Tam yells, "Come on!" Attack me! Never mind. Oh.
That's going to be 7.
Stephen?
Or no, 6 HP.
I think as you come to, you see Lichen like literally prying whatever left is of the metal as the last of his battle focus ends, and then he's good.
Thanks, Burgen. Thanks, mate.
And then I come to, and I'm like, Tam, you good?
This thumbs up, this Terminator 2 thumbs up. I'm still prone, but just a thumbs up in the air.
We got some health potions. You need
I'll
one?
be all right in a minute. Actually, I can do, if we've got a few minutes, I can do a prayer of healing if we like. Is everybody hurt pretty bad?
I've been better.
I'm feeling about a third of myself. About a third of a man right now.
I will
Burgen's doing all right.
I will cast prayer of healing, which takes 10 minutes. But everybody, all of us get 2d8 plus my wisdom.
Let's go. While he's doing his prayer of healing, can I like start just like looking in the rest of the rubble and in this mechanical thing, see if there's anything of note or worth?
Yeah, make a either perception or investigation check for me.
14.
Yeah, you see mostly just like rusted up bits of metal. You find gears here or there. You do find 2 arrows that look out of place.
Everybody gets 13 hit points back, by the way.
Yeah,
Burgen's up to full.
Yeah.
That's helpful.
I rolled a 3 and a 7, which is not terrible, but...
I mean, I'll pull them out. Is that it?
Yeah, if you want to look at them more closely, you could roll investigation or something.
Yeah, I'll roll investigation real quick. 0.
Yeah?
Yeah,
We're
guys.
all over the place today.
So...
You're like, I didn't see a bow on this horrible robot monster, but he must have had one.
Well, I think as the prayer of healing ends, then I'll let you finish,
Yeah.
I'm assuming whatever the ritual might look like. But I'll make my way over to you. Tam, while you were healing us up, thank you for that. I was just kind of looking around, see if I could get any clues or see maybe she's holed up here somewhere. I didn't find anything. You might be better at it, but I did find these, and I'll hand you these 2 different looking arrows, I guess.
These are very nice.
I don't really use a bow or anything, but I know you're pretty handy with one.
Sure,
So.
I'll keep them, thanks.
Yeah.
Just at the moment, can I investigate them, see what they might look like?
The arrows?
Yeah.
Yeah, roll a check for me. Investigation.
That's my D12, it's just giant. So let's roll a D20, how about? Much better, 15.
You have noticed you've seen almost no wood in this sub-level. If you've noticed any, it's mostly been like rotted and old, ancient. These look like new arrows.
Like they're new, like they're wood, they're fresh
Yeah, they're
arrows?
fresh.
Okay.
Like, if you bought arrows from the arrow monger up in the market, these have been here not very long.
Thanks, Lichen. I'll just stow them. So there's nothing special about them, they're just not old and rotten.
Yes.
Cool. Noted.
Lichen thinks he just gave you 2 magical
Yeah,
arrows.
Ben thought you gave me 2 magical arrows too.
But Lichen's intelligence, he thinks he just gave you 2 magical arrows.
Tam just nods. Thanks, mate.
Tam, you just heal us up some, but I think we're all getting pretty spent. Do we want to try to look at this door?
I think so. I mean, so that thing came out of a pile So these other piles of scrap, do they look like they might be leftovers of others of these creatures, or is this more just garbage and it happened to be in garbage?
It's hard to say. I mean, it looked like a pile of garbage until it stood up. You surmise that. I mean, it looks like a tinker's trash pile.
Okay.
This room is what it looks like. And you're not sure if that's what it was, or if they're over the years in this sort of dungeon area, things have accumulated here or what, but you are fairly certain that there is not another one of these present. Everything is a little bit more, now that you've seen how it was put together, everything is deconstructed to the point where it's like, okay, I don't think that there's another machine in this room with us that could attack us.
Do we maybe want to see what's up with this door?
Yeah, if you're feeling up to it, I mean, you just made me feel a lot better, so I maybe have one in, but honestly, just knowing myself, I think one more fight and I'm tapped for the day.
You said there were like 4 subsections of this door, 4 tiles in the
Yes.
stone.
Yeah.
Is there like any pictures or?
So yeah, you get closer and you really look at these, and you see each of these tiles has a marking, has some kind of character, some kind of symbol. You don't recognize any of them, but you do notice that they look fairly similar to some of the ones that were on that parchment that you found.
Oh, if we pull it out, do they match them? Like, does it look like there's almost? Ben is thinking combination, bottom right,
Yes.
right up down kind of thing.
Yeah. So they're at the 4 cardinal directions, and the one at the top matches the one on the parchment. It's just written left or right.
Mm-hmm.
The one on the top matches the one on the left. The other 3 do not match any of them.
Oh, okay. So this matches. Do we have something long to poke it with?
Lichen just taps his glaive.
I vote we back up and you poke the top one with your glaive.
Okay.
As you poke it, you see it rotates and the character changes.
Oh.
Just that one?
Just that one.
Does it match anything else on the parchment?
No.
Okay. And nothing horrible happened. I think at this point Tam has brought his shield out and he is very much like crouched down behind it as best he can. Try tapping another one, see if it changes. Tap the right hand one.
Alright, yeah, I'll tap the right hand.
Cool. That one, it rotates, and the one on the right-hand side matches the second character on the parchment sheet.
So can we tapping them all until they match?
You're able to do that. As you do this, you surmise this is either... none of you speak Dwarvish.
Nope.
You surmise that this is either...
It's like a combination lock.
Yes, exactly. A combination lock with what looks like the Dwarven alphabet.
Woohoo!
Or an ancient Dwarven alphabet. And so you're able to... And as the last one slots into place, you hear a... And like some lock has been disengaged. The door swings open. And you hear a voice on the other side say, "The door's opening! Who's there? We're armed!"
Tam, shield and sword, draws his sword now and just looks at Lichen.
You hear a woman's voice call out and say, "Sancho, are you back? Have you returned?"
Tam raises his eyebrows at Lichen. And I think unless you stop him, he's going to do something.
I think I'm just going to say, that's the first lady we've heard, and we're looking for a lady.
Tam calls out, "We're here on behalf of the King of the Wood. I bear a message."
There's silence for a moment. And then you hear the woman's voice call out, "All right, stand down. You may come in."
Same look to Lichen, eyebrows up.
How in the 7 hells did you find me?
And who, pray tell, are you?
This is the Admiral Lucia Cassian,
Tam just
Admiral of the Western Fleet.
just sinks a little bit with relaxation, and then kind of perks
Lichen
back
just
up.
starts
like,
walking in.
Is this the person that we're looking for?
That's what it sounds like.
The door opens and you guys walk in and you see a room about 50 feet deep and 30 feet wide. There are, or were, a number of workbenches throughout the middle of this room, and there is even more piles of scrap. There are consoles on the walls. Most of it is made of regular stone, although there are like little panels of the black marble with inlaid gold circuitry or other things. Standing in this room, you see 3 people. You see a woman. She's about average build, Her black hair is flecked with silver, and she has a bow that was drawn and aimed at you guys, and now she's released the tension on the string and seems to be more at ease. There are 2 men with her, both armed kind of as the Admiralty soldiers are, and uniformed exactly like the body that you saw outside. There are 2 more bodies lying on the ground. One of them is clearly dead, has lost a leg and an arm, and there's another one that is heavily bandaged.
Tam has his sword out and his shield out, but it's kind of held down. Do you swear you're the Admiral Lucia Cassian?
Yes, who else would I be hiding out down in this filthy sewer?
I come bearing a message.
Yes, from the ambassador.
I will sheathe my sword and pull out the amulet and just kind of snatch it off my neck and hand it to her.
She'll walk over and she'll hold it in her hands, and she'll say, I'd lost hope that this would come through. There are great things at work that are beyond even our strength to hold back, but if what is in here is what I think it is a great step on the road to preventing catastrophe. She motions to one of her guards just to go, stand at the door and stand watch. And she asks the 2 of you, she says, Is that thing gone? Did you defeat it?
I was going to ask if you'd set it out there, but yeah, it's in scrap.
No, we took refuge down here. This must have been some old dwarven machinist's workshop. One of my soldiers, I believe, activated it by accident. And I'm not sure if it was always that ornery, or if over the years, some dark power had corrupted it and turned it violent against whoever might come across it.
Do I see her symbol anywhere? Is it the Great Cloud thing?
Yes, she and all the other sailors, marines who are here are wearing the that same sigil of a sun, looking almost like it's setting over a dark sea.
I think we found one of your men down the hall a little ways. He's no longer with us. Tam here gave him some funeral rites as best he could.
Thank you.
You said his name might have been Sancho?
Indeed. We were trapped in here with that monster, and he volunteered to lead it away, and then we shut the door behind it. I had hoped that he made it out to try to find help to bring some other of my subordinates here to escort us to safety, but it seems that he didn't make it.
Well, and while we're not subordinates, we're help, and we've come through hell and high water to bring it.
Indeed. Well, it seems that you all have sustained injuries in your time, so perhaps it might be best if we sit here and discuss what is going on and what we must do next to prevent the conquering of the world by the Admiralty.
Yes, what is on this bloody necklace?
We will see and find out. And she holds out this amulet, and in her other hand she holds up a ring. And the ring is made of silver. It's a simple band, except it has a ship engraved into the top of the ring. And she speaks in Elvish, and you understand. She says her name and the ambassador's name and a string of words that don't really make sense.
But one of them is alliance. We figured that out several sessions ago.
Yes, yeah. One of them's alliance, but the rest is just it sounds like a string of code words.
Gotcha.
The amulet opens, and you hear the ambassador's voice. Basically, it's like a recorded greeting to the Admiral. He says, "Hail and well met. I'd hoped to meet you in person, but it seems that circumstances have forced our hand. You have worked hard to uncover this ring of command, and as we search for the 10,000s to prevent the Silver Fleet from conquering all, let this be a token of our appreciation and a token of our cooperation and alliance. Here is the command code that I have uncovered," and then he lists a string of numbers, and she repeats that string of numbers back to the ring, and the ring starts to hum.
Okay.
And she says, "Through agents and spies, your ambassador and I contacted one another several months ago. You see, the Admiralty is not as monolithic as it may seem. Yes, most of us desire there to be strength and authority and power in our waters for us to have control, for the the various pirates and other forces that seek to bring disruption and chaos to be defeated. But there are others who have, perhaps we might say, grander ambitions. Ambitions that stretch to every shore of this plane. And they are not afraid to use whatever means necessary. And so I discovered that several admirals were searching for this lost fleet of automatons.
Yeah, we know something about that.
Indeed.
So this is one of those, this is a ring. Have you found some?
No, I haven't. I've just uncovered this ring. And it seems that she has it on, and she's like, looks like she's thinking and considering, and she says, it seems that it has to be within a certain range to work, to function properly. But there's a chance that some of my fellow admirals have already uncovered some of the locations of some of these weapons. And so the thought of allowing this to fall into their hands was too great a danger.
So you think some Admiralty is at least aware of where these inactive robots may be?
She thinks for a second. Make a persuasion check.
Okay.
With advantage. You just saved her.
Yay! I rolled a 3 and a 4 for a total of a 2 and a 3.
No. She
is a woman after all.
She thinks for a second, and she says, suffice it to say that there are powers within the Admiralty that know much, whose reach is long. I'm not quite sure where they have found things, but clearly you can see by my state as an outlaw that they have divined something of my efforts to undermine their seeking of power and have sought to eliminate me.
That's not good.
Yes, I will not pretend that I am some great friend to the Kingdom of the Wood or some benevolent person. I'm a soldier, a sailor, I'm an admiral. But I will say that I do not believe the lives of our sailors, the lives of our soldiers should be thrown away foolishly. And I also do not believe that naked power is the only means by which we can relate to others. That viewpoint is not shared by many of my colleagues. And now you have my gratitude for releasing me from this. This was meant to be the beginning of a clandestine alliance between my fleet and those in my camp and the Kingdom of the Wood, because I feel that eventually there must be some challenge between the Admiralty and others. And if the Admiralty is augmented by the weapons that these rings command, I fear for the state of the world.
Yeah, we saw a vision of what might happen, just of the sheer volume of these that might be commanded by some of these things. So you say that you had hopes of an alliance. And I think Tam again kind of looks back at Lichen and just kind of shakes his head and keeps going and says, would you have a message to return to the king? The ambassador, we were waylaid at the meeting point.
Does the ambassador live?
I doubt it. We were assaulted by some of the Silver Fleet, and he bore a great evil into the waves.
I would say then that the prospects for an alliance seem rather grim. I mean, put yourself in your king's shoes. His trusted ambassador waylaid and slain by the Admiralty on a mission to build some sort of alliance with another admiral. Would you trust anything that I had to say? All that I might say is this. War will be coming to all shores. You must prepare yourselves. If I can get out of the city, if I can get to my fleet, there might be hope for something beyond that. But those are large question marks to me. The city is locked down and I have been labeled an outlaw. My ships have been impounded that are here, but my fleet is much greater than just those ships. if I am able to make it to my fleet's home base. I was waylaid while visiting someone I thought a friend, the Admiral, the governor of this city. He captured one of my trusted captains. There is much more that I could do if those situations were remedied.
Fair enough. I understand the need for caution and the lack of resources. Do you feel safe here for a time?
Not particularly. No one has come upon us yet, but I am sure that my adversaries have agents looking for me.
Had you met with the governor before he betrayed you?
Yes, we've worked together on overseeing portions of this part of the seas and these territories for the Admiralty for several decades now.
I mean, recently.
Oh, recently. The last time that I was here was probably about 2 months ago, and things seemed normal, and he was even a friend. We shared some sensibilities about various directions that we believed that the Admiralty should go on various issues.
The reason I ask is because How long have you been here? How long have you been underground in hiding?
She has been here they've been here for almost a week. So roughly shortly after, probably about the time that y'all washed up on the island, she fled down here, which would fit that letter that you found. The commands to take the secondary target would fit with her going into hiding here. The Admiral thinks for a second, and she looks at the two of you and she says, I don't know either of you very well at all. I've just met you, but I have a proposition for you. I'm short on allies here in this city, and you all have seemed agreeable to help. And so, if you do 3 tasks for me, I will give you this ring, because I don't care to have it, so long as it is out of the hands of the Silver Fleet.
May I ask what these tasks are?
The first is this, and that we don't have to do them in any particular order. The first is that you would go to the dungeons of the palace and rescue my executive officer. He's a halfling by the name of Captain Thistlecourt. He's a good friend and a trusted ally in these situations. In fact, he was the only reason that I was able to evade my pursuers when they first came to get me. I'm rather certain that they've kept him alive, partly because I know how these people work, but also because since they have not caught me, they must be interrogating him to see if he might lead them to me. The second task, I'm not sure how the Silver Fleet was able to exert control over the governor of the city, who used to be a friend, but I know that there have been some financial irregularities with a project that he was working on, some mines in the interior of this island. If you were to go there and recover the ledgers and financial documentation, I might be able to understand how they were influencing him and how we might be able to free him, hopefully, and win him back as an ally. And the final task is that you would escort me and Captain Thistlecourt to the headquarters of our fleet, Fort Martalion, where we would have access to control over thousands of sailors and hundreds of ships and be able to mount, if not an active resistance, at least I would be able to safeguard this area of the seas from any further incursion.
Well, I'll have to speak this over with my captain.
Of course, I understand. And I realize that's asking quite a lot of you, gentlemen, and I've just met you. But I hope that you understand. You know what the Silver Fleet is, yes?
We've some experience.
Their powers are vast beyond number. They have thousands of sailors and tens of thousands of undead servants rowing their ships, manning their armies. They are already a force to be reckoned with, and their leader, the Lord Admiral de Burgen, he is a singular force of necromantic magic. And it is his spy network, it is his agents that are searching even now for the 10,000s. If he is able to marry his armies of the undead with an army of clockwork automatons, he could bathe the world in blood, and nothing would be able to stop him.
Just a moment, my lady, excuse me. Lichen,
Yeah, what's up?
this ring, do we want the ring with the other sigil on it, with the skull and tower and whatnot? Do we want to see if maybe she knows what it is?
We can. I thought we kind of figured that out. That's just one that they used to kind of control that one ship. And based on what Wayfinder has told us, it sounds like they're trying to copy what this ring that she has right now is.
Let's just ask.
Sure.
So I'll either ask Lichen for, or I'll fish out the ring that other signet that we found. Do you recognize this ring?
She looks at it for a second, and she nods her head, and she says, "Yes, this is the sigil of the House of Di Briganda, the noble family that the Lord Admiral hails from. He is an admiral of terrible power, and it is rumored that he personally has been involved in the creation of most of the undead, and that he bequeaths power to various trusted servants and envoys with these rings of command, trying to, in a similar way, create a hierarchy of officers that the 10 thousands, the rings of command over the automatons would do."
That could come in handy.
Thank you. That information will be very helpful. If you'll excuse us for just a moment, we may have some ways to help even in the short term. If you just give us a moment, if you don't mind.
She turns back and she starts talking to her guards, and she's checking on the wounded one, and she's basically they're talking about trying to figure out if this wounded guard is going to be ready to move anytime soon.
As we're stepping away, I think Tam his eyes have kept drifting back to that wounded guy, and he says, "I may be able to help with that. Just a moment, please."
Of course. Anything you can do to help would be appreciated.
And Tam kind of like huddles up Lichen and Burgen, arms on the shoulders, very, very small huddle. Do we think they'd be... How many of them were in this room with us?
So right now, there's 3 healthy ones, 1 wounded one, 1 dead one.
1 dead one.
Are they all human?
Yes.
Okay.
Would it be better for them to maybe be on the White Wake?
That's exactly what I'm thinking.
Would you be okay with... I mean, you're the captain. Would you be all right with us offering... I mean, in fact, it might be best if you offer her. Is it a berth? Is that what it's called? When you sleep on a ship?
Yes.
Michael does not know.
It is.
Yes.
So yeah, if we offer her space on the ship, she can maybe hide there, disguise herself.
I have an idea. So...
But it's I think we're on the same page. We think it's best if she gets out of here.
You asked me not to lie to you very recently.
Yeah.
I know quite a bit about smuggling. People, objects, things that need to stay hidden. I got a pretty good idea on how to get her out. But I'm not even gonna touch fully what all y'all were talking about with different nations at war and all that. Like that's your stuff, right? War on the sea, that could be kind of profitable. But she's asking to get her to safety, to go and somehow release the captain they have, this
Thistle something.
Thistle Court. And what was the last thing? Just trying to help the governor? Or
I think she thinks that maybe the Silver Fleet, maybe other folks from the Admiralty have some leverage over the governor that's making him behave strangely. She said she asked if we could investigate some mines to find proof of what's going on, to help him out from under somebody's thumb. I wondered, because we had heard that he was acting weird and they've called doctors. I personally think there's more than just leverage at stake.
That's fine.
And we've got a way into the governor's mansion.
We do.
From the basement, we could go check that out, or we could go to this, because she mentioned a mine where there might be information.
This seems a lot more diplomatic to some degree. I don't know if we could just cut our way to the governor. I'm not worried about smuggling her. I'm not worried about getting her safety, getting her to her fleet. I'm not worried about that at all. That's the easiest thing in my mind. The other two, we kind of fought, and some of us wounded some of the people in that shop a couple days ago. Don't know if they'll recognize us. I don't know how easy it's going to be for us to kind of walk around. But I got a couple ideas to throw them off our trail. We're hiding her on the ship. What would you think about maybe taking her coat, taking her insignia, taking it to some officials, say we found it down here and we saw her on the other side of the chasm, but we came back because we couldn't get across. Just a bit of a smoke screen while we do what we need to do in town.
That would definitely divert some resources. And we've got her on the White Wake the whole time?
Yep.
We could even take a body
We could.
and say we found her dead. We can, heck with it. I like the idea. We could take we could take pieces of that automaton.
I think saying we found her dead, they would probably need a body.
Yeah.
Versus if we say, hey, we saw her across this giant chasm, we couldn't make it. Good luck. We're pointing you in the right direction. Will you guys give us something for it? They probably won't because they're stingy people, but that could get some people out of the town maybe. They're gonna think they know where she's at. They don't.
I like
and
the
then
idea.
that might free us a little bit to be a little bit more wordy instead of fighty.
The only thing with that is, what if they want to keep us around for safekeeping until they've found her? What if they don't trust us, and they say, okay, you stay here until we find her? What if they make us? What if they?
Do you think they'd put us like in a jail cell, or just, hey, stay in town?
I've no idea.
Because if they ask us to stay in town, or if they put us in the same jail that this whistle court is.
That's true. I like the idea of getting them to move resources out of the city. And it may be... I got the impression from that guard that we beat up, that I picked a fight with, that he was small potatoes. That he wasn't... word may have spread with his friends. We can go check on Jim and see if anybody's...
I think Jim blamed all the Minotaurs.
Right,
Hopefully
so
we're
it may
good.
be a non-issue. The only thing is, if we go to the Admiralty with something that with an unfulfilled promise, they may try to keep us around until it's fulfilled. So I like the idea of earning a reward or earning some less tension. I think a better idea may be a body. A dead body, a burned, stabbed body and pieces of robot that we found, saying, hey, this is her, you can stop looking, everybody stand down, and maybe the city calms down a bit. Because the only thing is, if we hope they're going to send out a bunch of people, is what if they say, you sit right here until we come back?
I'm not...
And then it may be fighty instead of talky anyway.
I'm not opposed to that, because my thinking is if they say, hey, sit here until we get back, either we might have access to the jail, which we might get close to this dude, or, hey, just stay in town. Okay, like, hey,
Sure,
we'll
no
stay around the
problem.
governor's mansion.
Yeah.
Happy to do it. My hesitation with bringing a dead body that ain't her, I'm well versed at lying, and you need to make sure you lie the right amount, and you know what the others can do to catch you in that lie. She just told us there's a very powerful necromancer.
Tam's eyes get as big as dinner plates. Oh,
I've
that's
seen it
true.
once, ever, and I don't care to see it. You might be more well versed in it, but there's some people that deal with the dead stuff that can bring them back and ask stuff and do things, and there's a small chance. But if she's talking, the head honcho's a super powerful necromancer, I'm assuming he might have some lower key people that also have that. My thinking is, if we're gonna lie, how's it a lie we don't necessarily get caught quickly with?
That's true.
But again, I don't know. You guys, I've dealt with the Admiralty here and there, and you guys, it sounds like this lady we were meant to meet up with knows a good bit more than both of us about him.
You're right. Magic's going to make all this difficult. I think we just, like we've been doing, we just pick a path and we go. I mean, and again, part of the problem with the two of us thus far is we can't seem to find one that's just horrible and one that's better. So, first of all, I mean, you've been in it to help find her, and we found her. You've said that you're going to help get her on the White Wake, and I salute you, Captain. And Tam does another very snappy salute. But this is if we keep going. I mean, I want to help. I don't like bullies, as you've heard me say. If we part ways here, I'm going back to the Kingdom of the Wood, and I'm going to convince everybody I can to come and help her. But I think we're about to put our foot in it.
You guys both make perception checks.
Yeah, 20.
17.
With a 20, it was good that you rolled that. You hear footsteps from outside.
Oh,
But footsteps like people are trying to be quiet. Like a soft pad.
Are the things closed? Did we close the door behind us?
I don't think you did.
I was like, well, I didn't. We probably didn't close it. I think Tam's thought would have been that's their door to close. Once we came in.
That's fair.
There is a guard. She did send one of her guys to go guard out there.
That's true, she did, yeah.
Considering I rolled and heard it,
It's not him.
Yeah, Tam just keeps talking, yeah, we're about to put our foot in it.
Well, no, I'm going to whip my head to... What was her name?
Lucia. Admiral Cassian.
To Admiral Cassian. Did you send more men out? Are there anyone else coming this way? You hear that?
No, I don't hear anything. There's no one else.
People are coming.
As you guys say that, you hear a voice from outside the room call out, Admiral Cassian, come out with your hands up. We have you surrounded. And I think that is a good place to end our session.
Cool, man.
Who
Cool.
followed us down here?
Yeah. Three battles, no rest.
No
cool.
rest. Great.
All right, well, I'm spending the rest of what I got left.
So let's roll for outro, I guess.
Yes.
Come on, big metal dice. Ooh, I did good this time. 19.
13.
6.
6.
Ah, nice.
Gosh, guys, today's just not...
Not your day.
That's all for us today on Across the Glass Sea. If you don't mind, continue to spread the word. As we mentioned last time, if you feel so inclined, talk to a stranger about it. Tell your friends, tell your family. Honestly, the most helpful you can be is to like or subscribe or even comment on whatever podcast platform you're using to adventure along with us. That'd be a great help to us. And as always, we're going to leave you with a bit of advice, this time from Michael.
Sometimes when you play a sailor character, your friends will assume that you know certain ship terminology. So go ahead and brush up on that so you don't have egg on your face.
Look at Wikipedia.
Thanks, guys.